Who faces a vote to dissolve parliament today, key coalition partners threatening to bring down his government. In reality, though, well, few think it's the end of the road for Israel's longest-serving Prime Minister, who's been battling corruption charges for years, or his far-right government. The move to dissolve will only pass if Netanyahu's ultra-Orthodox coalition partners break with him over the failure to pass a law exempting their community from military service. That's an issue that has bitterly divided Israelis, especially during the ongoing war in the Gaza Strip. A little earlier, we spoke to our correspondent, Nogotana Polsky, in Jerusalem.
It's going to be a raucous day at the Knesset. The Prime Minister is still engaged in many maneuvers to try and postpone this vote by a week, which is an indication of how concerned he is. But basically, during the whole course of the day, there's going to be a debate over whether this Prime Minister can be trusted or not. And it appears that two of his coalition party members, two ultra-Orthodox parties, who had hoped to get out of him, who were promised that they would get a law exempting their public from the draft, the universal draft in Israel, are going to join the opposition. Now, this is not as dramatic as it sounds in the respect that his government will not be toppled immediately. This is a preliminary vote. This would kick off a process. And if this law does, in fact, pass, as many believe, it would immediately go to committee. It's understood that Netanyahu would try and keep this law then mired in committee for at least a month and try and drag the process of the real votes on his future in politics out at least till the end of this Knesset session and kind of win a reprieve until summer. But it's unclear. And if this law does pass, as many believe it will leave a much weakened Netanyahu. Another major question hovering over Israelis today is, if this law passes, will the Attorney General immediately declare, even though it's a preliminary law, will she declare that this is now an acting government and not a fully endowed government? And that would already limit Netanyahu and his government's ability to act legislatively, politically, and diplomatically.